Bit of a long one, but worth the read. I tried to sum it up as best as I could. My boyfriend, M36, and I, F30, had been together for almost a year when this happened. Our relationship was genuinely good. We got along well, laughed a lot, and didn't really fight over stupid things. The only issue was one female friend of his, Tammy F30. To this day, I still don't fully know what her motivation was. My guess is that she didn't like that he was serious about someone else. She was also still friends with his ex, so I've always suspected she was trying to sabotage us on purpose. They were roommates along with his ex-girlfriend. His ex had cheated on him, so she had moved out and moved provinces. It was really obvious she still wanted another chance, but he wasn't interested. They had been broken up for 6 to 8 months before we started seeing each other. The weird part is that Tammy and I actually became close. I liked her, which is probably why I ignored my gut instinct for so long. Whenever it was just the two of us, she'd tell me things my boyfriend supposedly said, like, "I don't think he's over his ex, he told me that." Just little comments that planted insecurity in my head. Around the same time, my boyfriend started acting differently toward me, and our relationship suddenly had trust issues. One time, Tammy got annoyed because he didn't want to stay out drinking with her and instead wanted to come home and hang out with me. I thought that was weird, but I brushed it off. Things grew tense between my friend group and theirs. My friends had said they didn't like her and that I should talk to my BF about some of the things she was saying. But I didn't want to be one of those controlling people who told their partner they couldn't friends with girls. And I was genuinely trying to fit into his group. This abruptly came to an end. One night, I went out drinking with Tammy. At some point, I blacked out completely. I barely remember anything. I remember Tammy driving, and I remember some guy she said she knew being around. The next thing I remember is waking up in my own apartment, in my own bed, next to that guy, with Tammy walking into the room angry. Before anyone jumps to conclusions, we were both fully clothed and on top of the covers. Not that it excuses anything at all, but pause before you jump down my throat. The guy, I'll call him Peter, told me I had been really sick, throwing up, and that Tammy had basically ditched him there with me. He said he was too drunk to drive, and she was also really drunk and should not have been driving. He didn't want to leave me alone because I was in bad shape. I'm also a type 1 diabetic, and he knew that, so he said he stayed because he was genuinely worried about me. I told him he probably should have called an ambulance, but I was thankful to have not been left alone and upset that my friend put me in a terrible situation where so many things could have gone wrong. After he left, I was so sick that I ended up going to the hospital. I tried multiple times calling my boyfriend who didn't answer the phone. I then checked my call logs, and I had also called him a few times last night, but he was likely sleeping. It also took me forever to even find my phone, and it was in a really weird place, in a drawer. And after reflecting over several days, I've come to the conclusion that she likely hid it on purpose. When I got home, my boyfriend had put all my stuff outside my door and blocked me on everything. Eventually, I got a hold of him and told him I genuinely felt like I had been drugged and had no clue what happened that night. Tammy had already told him that I was all over Peter and that I slept with him. Neither of those things happened. I was furious. I then knew that she had obviously set me up, perhaps even roofied me. I just couldn't prove it. So I started piecing the whole night together. I went back to the bar and talked to the bartender who I knew. I asked what she saw, who I talked to, everything. Then I talked to Peter, who confirmed nothing happened between us. He told me Tammy was acting weird all night, and when I started throwing up, She basically left me there with him, a man I didn't know. He stayed because he didn't know if he should call an ambulance and didn't want to leave me alone. Apparently, Tammy came back later to check on me, which also meant she drove home drunk and then drove back drunk. So she left, then came back? Right. I also got perspectives from other people who had been there that night. The more people I talked to, the less Tammy's version made sense. Meanwhile, Tammy was telling me a different story and insisting she had only told my boyfriend that she saw Peter and me in bed together and wasn't going to lie to him. My boyfriend broke up with me anyway. And I get the situation sucks. And he's going to believe his best friend of several years over me. At that point, I decided that even if we never got back together, I was not going to let this girl ruin my reputation and walk away clean. So I pretended everything was fine. I stayed friendly with Tammy and acted normal because I wanted her to get comfortable and keep talking. Eventually, I convinced my boyfriend to give us another shot. We started talking and hanging out again. The second that happened, Tammy started acting weird. The first day I went over there, she saw me on the doorbell cam and immediately texted him asking why I was there. I saw the text. That led to my boyfriend and I arguing, and a bunch of inconsistencies started coming out. Things she had told him about me, things she had told me about him. He started realizing she may have been playing both sides, but he still wasn't fully convinced that she would have gone as far as to put something in my drink and that I had likely drank too much. So I decided I needed proof. When Tammy got home, I asked my BF to give us some privacy and to leave. I put my phone on record and calmly confronted her. No yelling, no drama. I just asked her to tell me what happened and explain her version of everything. She started with the same story she'd been telling, but then she started backtracking. Details changed. Her story shifted. She contradicted herself multiple times. I told her I knew she was lying to people and who told me specific details and that I didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Here's the part that makes me laugh now. I didn't tell my boyfriend I recorded her. I wanted to see what she would tell him happened during our conversation first. My thinking was, if she lied about a conversation I literally had proof of, then I could prove she lied about everything else too. And that is exactly what happened. Tammy told him that I threatened her. She said I told her I would punch her out if she didn't change her story to my event's false version of the story, and that she was scared for her safety. I told him that was completely untrue, but he didn't believe me. Instead, he told me Tammy didn't feel safe having me at the house, so if he and I were going to keep hanging out, it had to be at my place. He said he was planning on moving as soon as he secured another place. He had faith in me, but that things had gotten too dramatic and he wanted to distance himself from her anyway. This wasn't enough for me. I was honestly offended, but I also understood why he was conflicted. He had been friends with her for over 7 years, and one of the reasons I loved him was because he was so fiercely loyal to the people he cared about. We had also been friends before dating, and I knew what kind of person he was. I wasn't going to let her win, so I let Tammy keep talking. I let her spread her version of events to the friend group for about 2 weeks. Then, once I heard her latest lie through someone else, I knew it was time. I sat my boyfriend down and played the recording. He was completely shocked. He has already stopped trusting her, but this was next level. He was sick over the fact that she had lied so much and manipulated both of us, and potentially damaged the best relationship he had ever had. He moved out immediately, stayed at my place until he found another rental. We told the friend group I had recorded her and that she had lied about basically everything. The funniest part is that after all that, Tammy did absolutely nothing. She didn't defend herself, didn't respond to messages, and didn't even try to fight it. She moved too, stopped talking to everyone in that group, and basically disappeared. She embarrassed herself so badly that she removed herself. Best ending though, my boyfriend and I just celebrated 4 years together, and we have a genuinely happy life now. I picked Tammy because her real name starts with a T, and it was literally the first name that popped into my head. I didn't really put a lot thought into it. When I had arrived home initially, I wasn't capable of making decisions myself. It wasn't until the next day, like I'm talking 4 to 5 p.m. The next day, I was coherent. Apparently, I had been throwing up from when we all arrived home around 2:30 a.m. until about 7 to 8 a.m. Tammy, according to the guy, left around 4 a.m. Came back around 1 p.m. I still was unwell. I awoke to her in the doorway. I was like, WTF is going on? I saw him there and panicked. I screamed thinking someone had assaulted me. I remember her says, "What the fuck," and leaving. He calmed me down and talked me through what was going on. I went to the bathroom and threw up again. I drank a shit ton of water. After we talked, I asked him to leave, then had like a mental breakdown for like a few hours. I still wasn't better. Everything was really foggy. I had the worst headache of my life. I then called a cab and went to the hospital. By the time I was seen by someone, it was late, like 7 to 8 p.m. The nurse and doctor told me, depending on what I was drugged with, most leave your system between 8 and 24 hours, depending on the dose. The other factor is because I threw up so much and used the washroom, drank lots of water, I could have flushed a lot of it out of my system. Based on my symptoms, it's likely that someone had put something there. I don't doubt it was her. There's too many factors there.